Hey everybody, and thank you for joining. So today I want to go over a story with you about Marlene Warren. She was a 40-year-old mother, daughter, and wife who lived in Wellington, Florida. On the morning of May 26, 1990, while Marlene was having breakfast with her son and three of his friends, they saw a clown approaching carrying balloons and flowers. This did not look out of place. Uh, the son actually had a broken leg at the time, and they just thought that somebody had paid a clown to bring some get well presents to him, some flowers and some balloons. So Marlene got up, went to the door, she opened the door, and when she opened the door, she got shot by this clown. So they called 911 immediately. Joe, who was the son, he run out, he got in his vehicle, and he started going down this road because the clown that had shot her, after the clown shot Marlene, this clown turned around and walked off like it was normal. Like, I ain't done nothing, it's normal. Gets in the vehicle, takes off normal. So this is when, Joe, he's going down through there. He's trying to find this vehicle and can't find it. So he comes back, and Marlene had been shipped to the hospital when detectives got there. And they asked Joe, is there any kind of information that you can give us on the description of the clown? He did say that the clown was 6 foot tall, brown eyes, looked like a male. That was about all the description because, I mean, if you think about it, clowns, they dress alike. A lot of them look alike. So it's kind of hard giving a description of a clown, especially a clown that has just shot somebody. So the detectives, they asked where Mike was. Mike is Marlene's husband, and Joe said that Mike wasn't there. He was gone with some friends. Detectives called him, and they said, Mike. They let him know that his wife had been shot. They asked him where his whereabouts had been during the time of the shooting. Well, he was actually with people, so there was witnesses that could verify that Mike was not at the residence during that time. So at that point, that marked him off for that time. That didn't mean he was completely out, but as being the shooter, it marked him off. All right. Well, a couple of days later, Joe says, "Well, Mom told me a few weeks ago that if anything ever happened to her, to look at Mike, that Mike would have been the one to have done it." And she had thought that Mike was having an affair on her with somebody. All right, well, this was a little suspicious. All right, could it have been a mistress? Because they knew that Mike wasn't there. But did he have a mistress that could have been there, or he could have had it done by someone? All right, they start digging in to Mike's business. Mike and Marlene owned a few of them. Marlene, she was over an apartment complex. Mike, he actually ran a used car business. So they go to this business, Bargain Motors was the name of it. They go to this business and they start asking employees, you know, trying to find out any kind of information that may have been going around at work, A lot of times, you know, people talk about things at work amongst each other. So, I mean, they went there, they started asking people questions and things. Well, something that kept coming to light was a lot of people were saying Mike is having an affair on Marlene. Okay. They asked, who is it? Okay. Who is he having this affair with? Well, supposedly Mike was having an affair with a repo woman that worked for Bargain Motors, his company. She worked for him. Well, They find out this female's name is Sheila King. They ask Sheila, Sheila, where were you at? And they ask her during the time of Marlene's shooting. And she says, well, I was out looking for repossessions. They said, okay, can you provide us with addresses that shows where you was at? Well, she couldn't do that. She couldn't do that at all. And that right there, that makes it no solid alibi, no proof that you were out looking for repossessions. You could have been over here shooting Marlene. So they asked Sheila and Mike both, are y'all having a romantic relationship? No, we're not having a romantic relationship. We're just friends. That's all that we are. Well, after questioning more people, actually Sheila King's neighbors now said that they thought that Sheila and Mike were married. Now, so I don't lose you, let me tell you, Mike is married to Marlene, the woman that got shot. He is also believed to be married to Sheila King by his neighbors, not legally, but by his neighbors. They also thought that Mike was married. So the thing about that is it's kind of suspicious. If it wasn't a relationship, why would your neighbors think that you're married? On with the story though. So, during finding out information about Mike and Sheila at the business, they find fraud. 40 something counts of fraud, and Mike Warren got charged with it. So, these investigators, they start going around town looking for businesses that sold clown costumes. They was trying to find out, if somebody had recently purchased one, and if so, if somebody who worked at the business would be able to describe the person that bought it, hoping that it would give them a direction on who the person was. Now, 2 days later, after being shot on May 26, 1990, May 28th, unfortunately, Marlene passed away, and this did become a homicide at that time. So they were really digging at this time because this poor lady, she had died at someone else's hands. All right, so they find a costume store. There is a worker there, and she said a few days prior to May 26th, on the day of the shooting, that a female customer had come in and had asked to look at the clown costumes. And the worker said, we're about to close. Is there any way that you can come back in the morning? Well, this customer was like, no, I need to look at them now. So she lets the customer look at them, and the customer buys a wig, clown wig, a clown costume, clown makeup, and a clown nose. All right. Well, detectives make photo lineups of photos. And what they done is they put Sheila King's photo in with photos of different women to see if the worker could point out if the person that had came in that store was in one of those photos. All right. So this worker actually did point out Sheila, but she also pointed out a different female too. She didn't know. So they didn't have no direct eyewitness as to who bought this clown costume, to do further investigation in it. So time goes by, and a few weeks later, the car, the Chrysler LeBaron, it's white, it was found in a Winn-Dixie parking lot. Detectives, they started looking for evidence in the car. Well, they found it looked like a piece of orange hair that could be from a clown's wig, an orange wig. There was also a piece of human hair. It was dark colored. It was similar to Sheila King's hair color. That didn't mean she was directly the person that done it, but it was similar. And so they took that also into evidence. And so they decided to do a search warrant on Sheila's home. And when they did, they found in the closet, they did find a piece of orange hair that also looked like it was from a clown's wig. They took a piece of Sheila's hair and they took it back to see if there was any similarities in between the hair at her residence and the hair in this vehicle that the clown was driving. And it did come back that it was similar. But now in the 1990s, DNA was still fresh. So they couldn't directly say that it belonged to her. They didn't have that type of evidence. They just had similarities. So they put all of this into evidence. And when they do this, they decide not to go further with trying to prosecute Sheila because they do got circumstantial evidence, but they don't have a whole lot of solid evidence. Okay, DNA, it didn't directly pinpoint that that was her. It just said it could be. There's similarities. So getting on with it. What they done is they put this away, and it was 27 years that this case went cold. And in 2017, they decided to take another look. And when they took another look at it, what happened was from where DNA had advanced so much, there was a hit on the piece of human hair because it matched 99.9%. The human hair at Sheila King's residence matched the hair found inside of the vehicle that the clown had been driving. So they go and they start trying to hunt Sheila down. When they find her, they got them a surprise. This woman was actually married at the time, married to Mike Warren. When he got out of prison from getting those fraud charges, when they went in his business, he reconnected with Sheila. And when he did, they got married in 2002. They lived in Tennessee. They did own a burger joint, and they named it the Purple Cow. So detectives find this out after they find Sheila in 2017. Now, let's not get lost here, okay? I got a little off track here. So in 2017, when they found Sheila, they found out that she was married to Mike Warren. They started digging into their past. That's when they found out that in 2002, they got married, owned Purple Cow, and lived in Tennessee. All right? So, digging back to 2002, not only did they find that out, they went back and they talked to some of the employees that worked for them. And a lot of them said that at times there was rumors going around that Sheila had murdered Mike's ex-wife. Marlene and Mike were not divorced, but the rumor is that Sheila murdered his ex-wife. And on one occasion, Sheila wore a clown, or she dressed up as a clown for Halloween and went to work at the Purple Cow, which is weird. But anyways, So when they find her in 2017 and they find out all of this and they go back through and they talk to witnesses that worked for her and Mike, Sheila gets arrested. And when she gets arrested, she points at Mike and she tells detectives, aren't y'all going to arrest him? Kind of makes you wonder if the guy was guilty of something, don't it? But let me tell you the downfall to that. There was not enough concrete evidence. There really was no evidence that said that Mike was involved. Yes, his mistress was was she done it, but nothing said that Mike was involved. So as time drug out after she got arrested, they started going to trials. And of course, COVID hit in 2020, so that threw it off some. And in 2023, there was a plea bargain made. And this plea bargain said that Sheila would plead guilty to second-degree murder and serve 12 years in prison. 12 years doesn't seem like a lot, but the problem with that is the prosecution being able to prove with evidence, enough evidence that she done it. Because see, there was evidence bags that were found open. So automatically, contamination. Not saying she didn't do it, but just saying that's why I feel like they made the plea deal with her. Because they were scared of losing this case. Okay, let her do 12 years. Now she did admit in court that she did kill Marlene. My heart goes out to the family of the victim. I hope everyone enjoyed watching. See you next time.